So if you want to build integrity or you want to have more charisma, sometimes it's really hard to understand what actual physical thing you need to do to have more integrity in your life or to have more charisma. So let's jump into it. Actionable items are great for those esoteric goals. Those words like integrity or charisma, those I have to find actionable items. I have to look outside of the box. I have to look at my everyday world for opportunities where I get to practice some of those behavior traits, because those behavior traits are not so black and white. And sometimes you have to get really creative looking for the opportunities where you get to show up in that behavior. So first of all, if we tackle the word integrity, what does it mean? What does integrity mean? It's doing what you say you're going to do. So if you've watched my videos, you know I talk about making my bed daily. That's showing integrity to myself. I say that I'm going to make my bed every day. And so I do that. I do what I say I'm going to do. And that's just a small personal thing at home that's for myself, but something that really speaks to the world around me. So showing that I have integrity to those around me is saying yes only when I mean to say yes. So if somebody asks me to go and do something, usually what I'll say is, that's really great. Thanks so much for the invitation. Let me have a day to think about it. And that just buys me some time to decide if I really want to do the thing or not. It's okay if I don't. If I want to say no, it just buys me the time so that I don't say yes when I actually meant to say no. Because living in this mindset of wanting to be a person with integrity, I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do. So if I say yes to something, then I'm going to show up for that thing. So I want to really make sure that I really want to do the thing. And so those are just a couple of examples of actionable items. Another word that I find a lot of people really like is charisma, and they want to have more charisma, or they really admire people with charisma. And what is charisma? It is somebody that has that magnetic personality that draws people in like a moth to a flame. It is something that can be hard to capture with words, and it most certainly can be hard to have it as a goal to work on. So finding actionable items that work towards building charisma is a really great practice. One of the things that I did to help me with charisma was at business meetings, I would always want to leave right away. I wouldn't want to stay and talk to people. And how am I going to practice my charisma, practice building my charisma if I don't even want to talk to people? So what I had to do is I had to make a small actionable item. And that was, I couldn't leave a meeting without talking to 3 people. And that really opened me up. It opened me up. I was more welcoming. When I walked into a room, I was more present. I was looking for opportunities to speak. And the more comfortable I became talking to people, the more engaging I was. By the practice of sticking around and talking to people, I became more charismatic because my confidence was better and my articulation was better, and I just had more experience speaking off the cuff. If you want to be a better listener, make it a rule that you do not get to talk about yourself until you have engaged in the thing that they've said. You either repeat back to them what they've said, you comment back on their story, you do something that shows you're engaged in what they just said, and it has to be one comment, one thing about them before you get to speak about yourself. That will just help slow you down and really start getting you listening to what they're saying without thinking about how you're going to respond, what story might fit in here, how you get to tell your amazing story, because then you're not really listening. You're just waiting for your opportunity to speak. Becoming a better listener, really an active listener, is really being engaged in the person, and the way you can stay engaged is by having to repeat something back to them or ask them a probing question about the story that they just shared. That shows really great listening skills. So actionable items and goals, they cross over a lot. Goals I find are just more black and white. You know, if you think of SMART goals, they're specific, measured, attainable, reasonable, and time-bound. They're great for the black and white things like, I want to lose 20 pounds by December 31st. That is a really great concrete goal. You can set little mini goals on your way to get there. But I find when I want to work on charisma, or I want to work on my cadence when I speak, those I have to find actionable items. I have to look outside of the box. I have to look at my everyday world for opportunities where I get to practice some of those behavior traits, because those behavior traits are not so black and white. And sometimes you have to get really creative looking for the opportunities where you get to show up in that behavior. If you have anything that you're working on and you need some advice, some out of the box advice, then I would love to help. I would love to share my perspective. So thanks very much for watching. If you like what you saw, sub if you love, and I will catch you in another video. Bye.